What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 54 of the Hive Mind podcast. I might be a little out of it this episode because I've been awake for a while and I haven't eaten for a very long time. So, yeah, it should be pretty interesting.
How long have you been up for?
Since about 11 p.m. last night.
Why would you do that?
I went to sleep early at like probably 9 and I just woke up and I just couldn't go back to sleep. So I'll probably be going to bed early tonight. Getting up early for work tomorrow.
Is that why you like fucking DM me at like 7 o'clock this morning with let me know what time I'm ready whenever?
Yeah, that's probably why.
Fair enough.
But yeah, no, I've gotten a lot done today, so I'm not too upset.
That's
but yeah, that and I haven't eaten anything either. So
why would you do that?
Gotta make up for Thanksgiving, bro.
Oh, how was it?
Still on the cut. Good. Just fucking fantastic, actually.
Why is
Got
that?
to eat some good shit. Didn't go too crazy, but went a little crazy.
Don't you have like 3 Thanksgivings with like your mom and your dad or something?
No, I only had one big Thanksgiving meal, but we went out to eat the next night, so I probably had 2 shitty days. But they weren't that shitty.
Right.
I'm actually looking forward to being able to eat like a normal amount of food again, because like I worked out today after eating all that excess that I don't normally eat, and holy shit did I like go ham. Like I was so fucking strong, because my body's just not used to actually having like nutrition. So like when it finally did, it was like, what the fuck? This is amazing.
You'd probably be pretty sore though if you haven't eaten all day.
Yeah, I know. I'm pretty beat, but I'm gonna eat before I go to bed. But not too much, just because I'm basically all I'm doing is trying to keep my protein at a certain point. I'm trying to get at least 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight, while keeping the calories as low as possible. So that basically means chicken. Is what the game plan is.
I can't find your remember those fajita chickens that you said you eat?
Yeah.
I can't find the fajita ones. Like I eat the there's the regular ones, there's like Italian herb and like sun-dried tomato ones, and then there's I think there's another one like mesquite or something like that, but I can't find the fajita ones. I don't know, I guess they're a regional thing. But that doesn't make much sense since like you're basically in the same region I'm in. So, I don't know. But I can't find those.
Yep, I eat the fuck out of them.
Where do you get this from? The fajita ones?
Walmart.
Really?
It's Walmart frozen chicken aisle.
Maybe it's that. Maybe it's because I I don't grocery shop at Walmart generally. Not because like.
Well, that would make sense.
Not because I'm like against it, but really, but just.
Well, I mean that would make sense that you couldn't find the Walmart chicken.
Yeah, but it's not Walmart chicken. It's Tyson chicken.
Yeah, but they probably all have contracts and shit.
Yeah. Right. So anyway, yeah, we didn't actually do anything very special for Thanksgiving. I pretty much just took 4 days off. But she got flexed last night, which means she didn't have to work, which was pretty badass. So been doing a lot of nothing. Movie watching, or red boxing, I guess. And that's pretty much it.
Damn, you still pay for Redbox?
I Redbox sometimes. Like I can I mean, I have the
I can see. I've done it for games before. Like I did it for the Order 1886. I paid $1 and played the full game and then returned it.
Right,
for
but
$1.
Right, but that game was like 4 hours long.
It's probably like 7. That was actually a pretty fun game, but yeah, it wasn't worth $60. But it was definitely worth $1.
Definitely was worth $1, correct. So, yeah. And then why did Respawn send you all that shit?
'Cause I'm a badass?
No, but I mean, like, really?
'Cause I'm a badass?
Because you did like movies for them or something. I mean, they had to know who you are. They don't just sit
they know I am from my Titanfall videos.
Oh, okay.
I put up some fucking sick Titanfall scores, man.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if I'd play that too much, actually.
The campaign is very good, dude. I did a Let's Play of the campaign, and it's probably my favorite FPS campaign ever.
Really?
It was very good. They did a very good job. Like, normally FPS campaigns are fucking lame, where you're just killing endless waves of fucking shit. and it's just like, oh my god, this is terrible because it's so easy. But they did a very good job with Titanfall. Lots of they break up the action and do lots of clever things with the gameplay. That's awesome. Like this one time travel level is fucking sick.
Is it short or is it like a normal?
It's pretty short.
Yeah, I figured it probably would be.
But I mean, that game's a multiplayer game, but it does have a good campaign though.
Right. That's cool. So they sent you. What did they send you? They sent you a couple copies and
They sent me 5 copies of the game and the collector's edition.
Oh, okay.
With this giant fucking helmet that is now sitting on my coffee table.
Have you sold the rest of them?
What? I wouldn't know anything about that, bro.
Oh, right. I meant giving them away.
Yeah.
To friends and family.
Yes.
Oh, good. Good for you.
I've given away all but 3 copies. I still have 3 copies left to give away.
Oh, good. That's a good thing. Is that your like fucking pussy attracting device, the helmet that sits on your coffee table?
Dude, it's pretty fucking legit.
You just take a picture of it. That's your Tinder profile, just a picture of your fucking Titanfall helmet. It kind of looks like a Master Chief helmet, sort of, from the picture. Like it probably doesn't in person, but that's what
I've actually got a poster of the Master Chief. Right, it is kind of similar, yeah. It actually does look like a helmet that you'd see a Spartan wear. It doesn't look like Master Chief's helmet, but it does look like one of the helmets that the Spartans would wear. I mean, how fucking different can you make a helmet? That's kind of like saying a motorcycle helmet looks like the Master Chief's helmet, like it's just a fucking helmet with a visor.
Fair enough. You can make a pretty retarded helmet, though. Like bicycle helmets are pretty stupid.
There are people that buy the Master Chief motorcycle helmets. They're like super expensive and they're custom made, but they look fucking like pretty damn cool.
Yeah, I imagine they probably would. I imagine they're probably like $200 too.
Oh, way more than that, dude. Normal motorcycle helmets are like $500.
I don't think
motorcycle helmets are fucking expensive, dude.
I don't think I paid $500 for my helmet. And I had a Harley helmet, and I think it was probably like maybe 200, something like that. Maybe a custom one might be more, but I definitely didn't pay $500 for a motorcycle helmet. I'm sure there are some that you can, but that's a little too rich for my blood.
I'm looking on Reddit. People are saying that $600 helmets are a bargain.
For what?
Like I'm talking the full helmet, not like one of those dumbass like black cap things you wear. I'm talking like one with the visor and the.
So I just put in motorcycle helmet into Google, and it says shop for motorcycle helmet. Retro helmet $230. Optimus helmet $200. Walmart helmet $150. Full face Walmart helmet $50. $250, $200.
I mean, are you really gonna get your helmet from fucking Walmart?
You
the
can.
Great Value
and
helmet.
Then, this is the one this is Master Chief helmet right here. It's from Toys R Us. It's $524. So that's probably what you're. I wonder if that's like a DOT approved deal. I bet it probably is. Have you actually ever? Do you have a motorcycle license? You ever ridden one?
Fuck no.
What do you mean? Fuck no.
Because motorcycles are fucking retarded, dude. Everybody that gets a motorcycle stops fucking riding it. Because they're fucking retarded.
I don't know if that's necessarily true. I think crotch rockets are retarded. Like Gixxers or the similar type. I think
they're all retarded, dude. It's just a death trap.
Again, it depends on how you ride it.
No. That's the thing that doesn't matter. It's not you. It's the other people.
Yes, but you can definitely change your circumstances a lot. I'm telling you, my dad's had like a couple.
I don't know about that, bro. Like, there's people that just get like they'll just be driving down the straightaway, and there'll be a car, and it's like they obviously see me, right? I've got my lights on, and they just pull right out in front of you. Happens all the fucking time.
I agree.
There's nothing you can do because they just don't fucking see you.
I agree. My dad's been in a couple bike accidents, but I rode motorcycles I don't have one right now, but I still have my license. But I rode them through. Well, I've rode them my entire life, but I had one for a street bike for the majority of up until I moved to North Carolina, so about 3 or 4 years ago. And I'm a big puss when it comes to motorcycle riding, and if you avoid highways, and if you like never really go over like 55, 60, you're definitely a lot safer.
Well, you need to
Like even
define what riding a fucking motorcycle is then.
what do you mean?
You don't go over 55? Like, what
No.
kind of fucking... That's, like... At what point are you riding the motorcycle for, then? Like, to not actually ride it. Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go and sit in downtown fucking traffic in my motorcycle.
No. Like
That's so
ride it
fun.
on like country roads and shit. Like you know, like not highway roads.
That is a very limited amount of motorcycle riding potential.
I don't know, man. Like I'm talking about like not interstates and shit. Because interstates is like the thing that like kills all these fucking retards that get on crotch rockets is when they get on like fucking I-95 or I-75 or whatever, and they go like 80 and they weave in and out of cars. I mean, yeah, you can get hit.
I have a feeling a lot of it's just people doing lane changes and they don't fucking see them. They just fucking push them right over.
Yeah, and you could do.
I mean, I've never gotten close to hitting a guy on a motorcycle, but I've had it where like they like appear out of my peripheral vision. It's like, holy shit, I can kind of see where people come from. Where they say you just can't see these fucking people sometimes.
Yeah, well, and people do dumb shit like at a stoplight, they just sort of drive in between two cars, or they drive on the, you know what I mean? Like that's all retarded crap. Like you can do that. I think even in some places that's technically illegal, but
I think that's wait.
I don't
you said it's technically legal?
I think so. I think in some
places.
places.
You said technically illegal. I was like, that's probably the case. Most places.
No, I think some places you can, like, if cars are stopped at a red light, you can drive in between them to get up to like the turn or the front or something like that. I don't think that's legal everywhere, but dude, in some states you don't even need a fucking helmet on a motorcycle. Like Florida, I don't know if it's been changed, but it used to be you didn't even have to. You could just get on a bike with fucking just nothing, and you were fine. Yeah, man, it's all in how you like ride it. Like, yeah, it's dangerous in general, but you can be safer. And dude, 55 on a fucking bike, anything on a thing like that feels fast as shit.
Yeah, because you have the wind resistance.
Yeah, I mean, it just feels a lot faster than.
Yeah, I've ridden jet skis and shit. Going 60 on a jet ski on the water is feels pretty fast.
Well, that's fast as shit on the water.
No, it's not. It's not that fucking fast.
60? Yes, it is, dude.
Dude, I've ridden jet skis that go like 80. That's pretty damn quick. But yeah, no, you crash going 60, you skip.
Right.
Yeah, it's not too fun. It's not as painful as you'd imagine, though. The most painful way to wreck on a jet ski is to fucking drive the nose into the water. Holy shit, that fucking sucks dick.
I had a Wave Runner turbo Honda 3-seater. It was really nice a couple years ago, and my now wife was one of the last people to ride it with me, and we bought one of those like two-person, not two-person, well, a tow rope and a one of the tow boat raft things. Oh my
god, were you one of those fucking retards that pulled somebody on a tube going like 50?
Yeah, what do you mean? That's fun.
That's fucking retarded. That's how people die.
No, dude, no. First of all, you don't go 50 on a fucking tube. And second of all, that's fun
The
as
people
shit.
on fucking Claytor Lake do.
Well, they're retarded. So anyway, we were towing this thing, and it's one of those ones where it's like, it's kind of like shaped like a triangle, like you're supposed to sort of tow it. So I was pulling her along, and she was having a good time. Skipping along the water, and you can fall in that shit. I mean, you can flip out of there or whatever, and it's not a big deal.
Oh yeah, I know how tubes work, bro.
Right, but what I'm saying is, so I wanted to ride on the fucking tube, right, and I was gonna have her pull me, and what I didn't realize was that I should have thought better about what I was asking her to do, because. So I'm pulling her, and I'm making wide arcs, and I'm kind of going like as you should go when you're pulling somebody, because I've pulled people before. It's not fucking difficult. So she goes to pull me, and she goes out in a straight line, and she makes a fucking 90-degree right turn.
Yeah,
And then
you swing way out.
no, you don't. So I'm in the tube,
What?
and I'm probably like 30 or 40 feet back, right? It was a pretty good sized tow rope. So she goes out, and she's going, and she makes a 90-degree right turn, which causes the fucking rope to go slack for
Oh, you mean literally 90 degrees? I
a
thought you
90
meant
degree.
she just made a sharp turn, and you like swung around the side of the jet ski like you would, how you would think.
No. You can make a wide angle turn, and you'll sling out and go flying or whatever, and that's kind of fun. No. She made
Oh, so she
basically
jerked the shit out of you when that rope pulled taut again, eh?
yeah. Well, right. So, and when I say 90-degree turn, it wasn't exactly 90, but it was sharp as fuck. So I see the rope in front of me, like just dip down into the water and go slack. Meanwhile, she's like flying off,
Fucking really dangerous.
and I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna let go. I just fucking let go of the thing, and I was like, I'll just get back on this another day, cause and the stupid raft went like fucking
well,
flying.
yeah, that's dangerous. Not because it would the jerking. It's dangerous because the rope could snap, and fucking take your goddamn eye out or whatever. That's why it's fucked up. But no, my dad. It's always a fun thing when people like think they're hot shit. Like they think they can't be thrown off the tube, and then my dad takes them on the boat, and dude, it's like a form of fucking like torture to see what like he does to people on inner tubes, because the way you like fuck somebody up on an inner tube is you just start making circles, and you go really slow and build up these giant fucking waves, and it's like almost like a fucking whirlpool, and then you just drag them through it going fast, and it's
That's
pretty
fun
insane.
that's fun to do on a jet ski too. Is to
Do burnouts.
to drive through your own wake.
Yeah.
It's pretty good time, or a boat or anything like that.
Well, the fun thing to do on a jet ski is to fucking turn it really, to be going like kind of, you can't be going too fast or else you'll fucking throw yourself off. But the most fun thing to do on a jet ski is to be going like straight forward in a line at about, I don't know, maybe 15, 20 miles an hour, and then literally turn it as hard as you possibly can. You have to be going slow enough to where you don't throw yourself off, obviously, but you do that, and then you just, all the fucking water that was behind you just goes right over top of you, and you end up like, and then you duck because you know what the fuck you're doing, right? You duck, and then the person that is holding onto your back just catches a fucking face full of water.
Right.
It's fun.
Yeah, jet skis are a pretty good time. They're
You have to have a license for them now.
I really wouldn't recommend like purchasing one.
Oh, I don't know. My dad owns one. I wouldn't fucking buy one of those things.
I meant for other people.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
but
not exactly a high value investment.
Well, it's not even that. It's just like, unless you live literally like on water, like the frequency at which you use it is not very high. For
Even
how
if you
much
do
you have
live
to
on water, the frequency of what you use is not very high.
Right. I have a buddy in Florida that lives on a lake, and he's got basically a dock that just kind of, he's got a lift.
Well, maybe in Florida because it's always fucking nice there, but
yeah, here it's not. We went to there's a park up here, Chinatague or something like that. It was a good time, but yeah, I was pretty happy when I fucking sold that thing.
that's an old saying. The two happiest days of a boat owner's life is the day he buys his boat and the day he sells it.
Right, which is true. So I was thinking about I've been getting another motorcycle though. No, I used to have a lot of scooters, and in Grand Theft Auto they're called Fagios, which is pretty funny.
Aptly name.
Yeah.
Aptly name.
But they're like amazing for college, because there's no parking at college, but you can take your scooter like basically like on the sidewalk, like right up to the fucking class. So having a scooter in college was pretty legit. And my dad thought he'd be slick and put a turbo on my fucking little scooter. Somebody stole it though and spray painted it brown, like a shit brown color. So, but those are fun too, man. Because those you can basically floor, and you're only gonna go like maybe 40. They're a pretty good time. I was in my truck at a red light at college, and this dude who I don't think he's ridden a lot of scooters in his life bought one, and he was like coming up next to me at the red light, and he fucking like slid it. Like he went to stop, and the back tire hit some sand, and he like slid horizontally up to me, and I like leaned out of my truck, and I was like, I think those things ride better upright, bro. He's like, fuck off. He was like all scraped up.
The only like, other than like a high performance car, like an actual car, the only like crazy like toy I would get, maybe think about getting, is one of those things. It's not a trike, but it's got the 2 wheels in the front and the one big ass wheel in the back that like Rob Dyrdek had.
Polaris makes one. They're called.
Those things look fun as fuck.
Yeah, you still need a motorcycle license for that, which I think is kind of retarded.
But those look fun as shit.
Yeah, no, I agree. Polaris, shit, what are they called? It's a Polaris something, but I actually really wanted to go test drive one. They're like a
looks
little
like some
two-seater.
shit out of like Gears of War or Halo. That big ass tire on the back.
Yeah, hang on. Polaris Slingshot. That's what it's called. Polaris Slingshot. Those things are amazing.
Yeah, no, I could rock one of those.
That's like 20 grand though. Those things are really expensive.
I'm not gonna buy one, but
for what you get, yeah, just have your
curious
fucking.
How fast the 0 to 60 is on these.
Have your like family's auto empire fucking.
So you got 0 to 60 times.
Just be like, hey, I'm gonna need you to. I'm gonna need you guys to take a trade in on one of these things at some point.
They're not that fast.
No, they're not.
0 to 60, 5.8. I mean, that's not slow, but it's not like.
I wanted to. I thought about it one time about buying I had an S2000. I was thinking about buying. You remember the Prowlers? Plymouth Prowler.
That's literally something from Halo. Oh no.
No, not the fucking 4-wheeler Prowler thing. The Plymouth Prowlers. They made them for like Chip Foose designed that car, and they're pretty badass. But they stopped making them, and they started making the Chevy HR thing, which is like not cool.
The HHR?
HHR, yeah.
Yeah, they stopped making those.
Yeah, that thing was a piece of shit.
Yeah, we had one of these at our car show.
Prowler?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're a lot of money for what you get, but they're pretty cool.
Dude, we got a Cadillac ATS-V. That motherfucker is badass. That's a fucking car.
Yeah. My buddy, I had a friend who was like one of those like white guys who like is basically a black guy in the Navy, and he always drove. What was that like entry level Cadillac that was out for a long time? It was like, was it ETS or CTS?
CTS is probably one. I mean, I think that's probably what it was.
It was like
CTS is one of the cheaper ones. I mean, it's cheap for a Cadillac, but
you saw it everywhere. Yeah, I think. Let me see. How
old?
This was in like, yeah, it was a CTS. This is in like 07.
Yeah.
And he like, dude, I'm telling you though, he got some ass with that car. Like,
dude, Cadillac to Cadillac, man.
I didn't think he would, really, but the ladies, man, when they got in the fucking the caddy with old Wayne, fucking panties came off.
It's Cadillac, man.
Yeah. Didn't
Even
help.
The older Cadillacs are still fucking nice as shit.
It probably helped that he used to be a D1 wrestler at Oklahoma, and he was.
Yeah, but I'm sure you kicked his ass.
No. We never. No, that did no. Fuck no. That dude, he'd destroy me. Unlike you, he would destroy me. He was pretty beastie, and he was like one of those like he was a big dude, like strong, but he wasn't like big. You know what I mean? Like he was just tall and like fucking jacked. But he used to get all
anybody that does body weight athletics, they are fucking phenomenally strong. Like for their body weight, it's actually insane. Like UFC fighters and boxers and anybody that has a sport where they have to optimize themselves to be within a certain weight class, they are so much more efficient than like us fucking mortals that don't do that. It's pretty insane.
Right. Yeah, it was yeah. But anyway, speaking of, I guess what people wanted to know about my my fucking thing that I paid my debt on. Did you think I was actually gonna do that? I bet you didn't, did you?
I assumed you would.
Oh. Yeah. I think some people thought I was gonna bitch out, but I just had to get to work. You know what's funny is that picture actually that I put up for the losing the bet. So I guess people remember. I lost the Trump thing. Which, now, how does this work if the fucking recount comes through and Clinton gets elected?
We didn't fucking make stipulations for that. I have no idea. I don't think that's gonna happen.
I think you would be required to post it though. If Clinton actually gets elected, I think you would be required to post yours because I would have technically have won at that point.
Yeah, I think at that point, yeah, it'd probably be fair for me to post it because then we'll both post it because we both like kind of lost.
Oh, I mean,
if that actually happens,
didn't really everybody lose though?
No matter who wins, everyone loses.
Right.
With the current selection.
That's my point. Yeah. So that did pretty well though.
Yeah. I think what happened. So I tweeted it out, and I think a few people on my Twitter, like since I tweeted it out, a few people upvoted it, and it kind of got some steam. Because like my initial fear was that I would post it and it would just get no interactions at all and just get buried. But I think since a few people like upvoted it and gave it like some initial momentum, then it just took off.
Yeah, how many what?
Never mind. Go ahead.
I look like what?
You look the part.
Of somebody who cried. You know what's funny is so my eyeballs were actually burning because I stayed up late I think, and my contacts were hurting. So I was like, oh man, and then I was like, well, I guess this would be a good time to take a picture with my fucking eyes because it does actually look like I'm crying. So that's why it looks like that. And it's funny because like people that I just hung out with at I linked it to my friends at Topacon when they all came over to my house. They were like, your eyes aren't ever open that much. I was like, yeah, well, you know, but there's some
I can't tell if that makes it worse or better.
I don't know, but it's the comments too. So there were some themes. Let me read these. You want to read them, or you want me to read them?
You can read them.
All right, let's see. There was 168 last that I 168 comments last that I checked. It might be a little different now. All right, 167. So I guess you're gonna link it for everybody in the video, but yeah. The highest upvoted one was. You posted it and it said, this guy cried when Donald Trump got elected. And the highest upvoted one was, not really surprised, you look like you'd cry during sex too. Okay. That's because his
that one's fucking lame. I don't know why that was so highly upvoted.
I don't know either.
Dude, the best one only has 13 upvotes.
That's because his boyfriend always come first and then just leaves him lying there. So did his parents. They came to the hospital and left him lying there. Somebody linked a To Catch a Predator video.
That is kind of funny.
It looks like me.
Yeah, that should have been up there. Like some of these are just way too highly upvoted for what they are.
You look like Murray from Impractical Jokers if he was a beast and kidnapped children. I looked up that guy. I don't look like him. And that guy has I think it's the hairline, which is kind of funny that like my fucking hairline was like one of the things that they made fun of because like
it's fucking fading, dog.
It's not though. That's the thing. It's that picture. Like my hairline is like normal height. Like it's looked that way for like ever.
No, and it's not the height. Too, it's the thickness.
I think too my like widow's peak is pretty long for like how I've cut it, so I think it accentuates it. But again, anyway, I just thought that was funny because no one's ever shit on my hairline before. You look like okay. He must be from Norway. No, I'm not from Norway. They just uncovered the pedophile ring there. 51 have been arrested. Yeah, we got to talk about that later, the Twitter pedophile thing, but he looks like Brendan Dassey from Making a Murderer, probably just as smart. If anyone saw it, that's a pretty good roast, and they got like -4.
The best ones are like not even the highly like this one like don't worry, he's not going to deport the gays. Like that's a pretty good one.
Right.
My personal favorite is let me find it. Fuck, I had it. Yeah, of course he cried. Trump's going to build a wall that he's going to sit on, fall off of, and all the King's men won't be able to put him back together again. That is fucking hilarious. He called you fucking Humpty Dumpty, you Humpty Dumpty looking motherfucker. And it only got 13 upvotes because everyone's a dumbass on this subreddit. That was the #1.
Only pussy ever seen in your life is when you look into a mirror. Some guy wrote a paragraph. Don't worry, he's not gonna. If Satan and George Zimmerman had a baby and that baby came out retarded. Autism Speaks, and right now it's fucking screeching.
That one's pretty good, I think.
You look like an age progression photo of a fetus. You walked into a barbershop and said, "Give me the middle-aged gym teacher on welfare." Your hairline looks like a McDonald's logo, and I'm not loving it. At least Donald Trump has better hair. That hairline made me cry. Nigga need a GoFundMe for a wig ASAP. Crying ass cuckold looking mofo. You look like you were just picked up for not registering the sex offender list. You have sad puppy dog eyes, but not like when a puppy wants something, more like Old Yeller right before he gets put down. You're one of those guys that gets into feminism in university to get close to a girl you like. You end up dating her, but it's one of those relationships where she fucks other dudes in your apartment while you watch because it empowers her as a free female spirit. Okay.
That's pretty deep.
Nice of you to steal Mickey Mouse's hairline. Hairline says 50. Face says jam it down my throat.
Yeah, the quality of these have kind of gone down. We can probably stop.
Yeah. Hang on. There was one that was pretty good.
The Humpty Dumpty one is my favorite, dude. That's actually like clever, but everyone's too fucking stupid on the subreddit to give that enough attention.
Let me read through all these because there was another funny one on there.
My personal favorite thing is something that people didn't even see. It's that your Facebook is a fucking lie. It's a lie.
No, it isn't. It's just
I'm
older.
not gonna link your Facebook to them, but
no, it isn't. It's fine. Fat
your
Dracula.
Facebook is a lie.
No, it isn't.
How many full body pictures do you have of yourself in the past 3 years on your Facebook?
Not many. I haven't taken a lot of pictures in the past 3 years, and most of them are my kid. The profile one is about 6 months old. The one with my goatee.
Where it's like just like
my face. Yeah, I don't take.
Yeah,
I mean, when
like
am I gonna like?
You've got like this filter on it. I mean, I'm just saying, like, I go through your pictures and it's like literally you 10 years ago.
That's not true. I mean, a lot of them probably are because I did a lot more shit 10 years ago when I was in the Navy and like I took a lot.
I'm just saying, none of these pictures on your Facebook look like you at all.
Okay.
Currently.
All right. What do you want me to say? I don't take a lot of fucking pictures, even if I was like in my utmost.
I don't take a lot of pictures either, but like you literally have no pictures that look like you remotely.
Okay.
I'm just saying that's a little fucking suspect. No, I'm just saying you're one of those people that doesn't have current pictures.
Okay. That is a current picture. My Facebook picture is a current picture.
Yeah, but you like MySpace angled it.
What the fuck do you want me to do?
I'm just saying, it's disingenuous.
I mean, do you want me to text you a fucking picture of my dick? You sound like pretty fat.
I'm just saying that I think it's funny.
Okay, well, good for you, fucker. I don't post a lot of pictures I don't post a lot of anything on my Facebook. My Facebook.
Neither do I. But I just think it's funny. It's I don't know. That's all. I think it's funny.
Congrats.
You got some fucking old ass pictures.
They're not, dude. I'm telling you, my profile picture is not old.
I'm not talking about I'm not talking about your profile picture where you did the fat girl angle with the fucking Instagram filter. I'm talking about like the ones where it's like you in the Navy 10 years ago.
It's not 10 years ago. Fuck off. Fuck you. I don't care. What do you want me to do? Like post pictures like that I'm like recent, like in a mirror, like, hey guys, look. No,
I'm just saying pictures that are like within the last 3 years.
You know what I mean? Like I don't do that shit. They're pictures of my kid and they're like funny pictures of other things. Like I don't need to post fucking selfies on there or pictures about anything else.
I'm just saying that you sound a little triggered, dog. So.
Oh, you're fucking irritating. Like, okay, what's your fucking point? It's funny. Like, I don't take a lot of pictures.
This is one of those things where, like, you do this to me, you've done this to me, and now I'm doing it to you.
No, it's fucking stupid. It's stupid. You're just
triggered.
No, you're just a fucking cock.
We'll see what. Oh, I think you're legitimately mad at me right now.
I'm irritated. Like, fuck you. What do you want me to say? Like, okay, yeah, I don't.
I struck a nerve.
Okay, congrats. Anyway, all right, I want to read the rest of those. So.
All right.
Okay.
Oh wait, what were we gonna talk about the recount shit? That's kind of fucking crazy. That they're trying to like recount all these states like this late.
Yeah.
You think that'll actually, like, I don't know. I wonder if Trump's actually a little scared. Because, like, some of the ones they're recounting are kind of close. Like, isn't Michigan, like, a few thousand votes?
Yeah, but it's not gonna matter.
Yeah, I don't think anything will come of it. I mean, if something does come of it, like, could you imagine what a shit show that would be? If, like, he actually didn't win the election? Or if they, like, rigged it in some way? That would be insane. Like, there would be, like, violence.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen. I mean, even though I don't even think Obama wants that to happen.
No, I don't think anybody with a brain wants that to happen, but...
Except for Jill Stein.
It'd be kind of crazy.
Right.
Oh, I said anybody with a brain.
Right.
Yeah.
Other than, right.
That was the joke.
Yeah, I don't think she has enough money, though. And then she also posted the thing
I thought she made enough money. I thought that was, like, the story. But, like, the thing is that apparently a lot of that money that she raised is not from the U.S., which is illegal, I think. So, it'll be interesting to see how that shit show goes down.
Yeah.
They're like pulling out all the tricks to try and stop Trump from getting to the White House, like trying to like to appeal to the Electoral College and like pay people's fines, because if like you don't vote with the way your state votes, then you get this big fine, and like Lady Gaga and all these fucking cucks are trying to raise money so the Electoral College doesn't have to vote for what their state voted for. But again, I don't think that would happen. But if it did,
no.
it would be a shit show.
No, because I mean, what are you going to be, the guy who puts
People
yourself
have done
at
it in the
risk?
past.
Yeah, but not people that want to piss off Trump supporters. Like people that, you know, I mean.
Yeah, there's been a few people that have voted against what their state did. One guy did it like as a point. He's like, "This is fucking dumb that I can even do this," and he like just did it.
Right, but I mean, like, would you do it?
No, because I don't want to die, and they also have to pay a giant fine.
Right, but I mean, if your fine was paid, I wouldn't do it. Fuck that. It's too
It's a shitty thing to do, because like you're basically saying like, yeah, these people that I'm supposed to represent, fuck them. Like directly.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't do that shit. I don't think it's anything. I mean, he's gonna get elected and whatever. I mean, he simultaneously like tap danced on Castro's grave while, you know.
Why was anyone sad that he died?
I don't know if necessarily people are sad about it, but it was a thing. I mean, there were a lot of people that were opinionated about it that I was surprised. Like, I didn't realize that so many white people were that opinionated about Castro.
Let me find the thing that the Canadian Prime Minister tweeted out some shit about Castro, calling him like some sort of fucking hero. It was like actually pretty cuckworthy. I have to find it, but it was pretty ridiculous.
I don't think a lot of people like that guy either. I don't think a lot of Canadians like that guy.
No.
Justin Trudeau or whatever.
I'm trying to find the tweet. He tweeted out something like, "We lost like a great person," or like something along those lines, like ridiculous.
Right. Yeah, I just didn't realize that so many white people cared about Fidel Castro.
I don't think they actually do. They just want to like pretend like they do.
Right.
It's kind of like all that shit in the Middle East. It's like people pretend to care about Syria, but nobody really cares. Nobody actually cares. Shit's too fucking great over here. We got Netflix, Amazon Prime, and internet porn. Like, who gives a fuck about Syria? Fuck them.
I guess. I mean,
but there's gonna be people in the comments like, I care about Syria. Meanwhile, you do nothing. Fuck off.
What could you do though?
Pay taxes.
Right. But I guess I saw that thing about Trump's tax plan too. I guess that's not going to be a very good benefit for. It's like, oh, it would help most middle class families, but not single moms.
Well, yeah, no, have
to pay a lot more taxes.
The whole Trump thing, it's gonna like poor people are gonna get a little bit fucked. Rich people are probably gonna get a little bit fucked. The middle class is probably going to pull out ahead.
Right. Well, sort of. The upper middle class, they said would, but the like lower middle class wouldn't. I don't know, man. Let's see what he fucking does. I don't know if he's actually going to do anything. But I'm kind of for not being involved in the Middle East, really.
Yeah,
like,
me too. Not that I give a shit, but like it's the money. Like I don't care about people hating us. It's the fucking billions of dollars. We should totally like spend that on our country, and not just be giving it to fucking people.
They would probably hate us less if we didn't go over there and do things. Like I guess what was it? Al Qaeda said to Trump, like we'd really like your people out of Afghanistan as soon as you get elected or whatever, like within 30 days.
I make the best deals.
Yeah, I mean they should be out of Afghanistan.
Should be out of all that shit. Fuck those places. Shit's retarded, dude. It's a fucking waste of time, waste of money.
Right. The only thing you don't want is like terrorist cells to go unchecked and take over an entire.
Yeah, well, I mean, Saddam Hussein did a good job keeping that shit under wraps, but you know,
right?
Got rid of that guy.
Murdered everybody. That opposed him.
Well, you gotta crack a few eggs to make an omelet.
You do have to do that. True.
You know, in defense of Saddam Hussein.
Right.
He did keep that shit pretty stable. Way more stable than it fucking was or is now. God damn. Not that I'm some sort of diplomat, but like, holy shit, what a fucking waste of time.
Yeah, but the oil.
We could just take that shit. We don't need to fucking try and establish democracy. Fuck them.
Yeah. I don't know.
That sounds brutal, but at some point it does come down to that. That's how the fucking world works.
Yeah, again, like you don't. The idea was that you don't want to destabilize the region so much that ISIS is actually in power over there and like runs things, because then they have a lot more resources with which to do things over here, because they still will probably hate us no matter what. You know what I mean? So you don't want them to actually be in charge of a country. So that was the idea, is to set up some sort of stability before we leave, but who knows how effective that would be.
The second we leave, it's over. It's gone.
For the most part, yeah. So yeah, dude. It's not easy. But who knows? Who knows what Trump is actually going to do? I don't think he's going to do anything, honestly. I'm
not getting my hopes up that he's actually going to do anything, but if that wall actually happens, I will be shocked.
It's not going to happen.
I don't think it's going to happen either, but if it does happen, and I'm not talking like if he builds a fence, like I want a fucking Helm's Deep wall. Like I'm talking like serious wallage, not like some little bullshit.
I saw some report that said it would actually help like Mexican economies if they had a wall. I don't really get the logic behind that, but they're like, the wall's not a bad idea. It's like,
well, it's like a lot of Latinos voted for Trump because they're legal immigrants that went through the fucking, went through the system legitimately to become a real citizen, which is a fucking long and arduous process. And they're tired of having to fucking compete with these fucking guys that just jump over the border or just fly in and stay.
Right. I mean, it's kind of a hard issue because, like, so the argument like Clinton had, for example, for just legalizing or provided an easy path to legalization for undocumented immigrants is the whole thing about families, right? Like, they don't want to, if your kid's born over here and your kid is a U.S. citizen, because that's how that law works, and you all of a sudden deport,
they might need to change that one.
Deport the parents. What happens to the kid, right? Like that's the thing. Is like
I think they might need to change that one. That law.
You think?
Maybe. I mean, if they really want to do something about immigration, that one's going to have to change. The anchor baby shit, that's a pretty big issue.
Yeah, but it's like,
it's such a fucking dumb, arbitrary thing. Like, if you really think about it, it's like you spit one over out in Texas, like a fucking 100 yards away from Mexico, and he's He's one of us now.
Yeah,
It's
but
like, what?
I think the reason that it exists, and I don't know all of the reasons, but I think one of the major ones is like if you have a lady who comes over here and sneaks over here or whatever, and she's pregnant and she has a kid, she and the baby like need medical attention, right? Like, so do you just
I'm not saying we just like fucking
not
send him back over with a giant fucking axe wound immediately, but like, no, it's like you go on back, all of you. But no, my thing is, I think this would be a decent solution. Give people a way to become, maybe not a full-fledged citizen, but like, hey, you can stay here, and this is the deal. Okay, illegal immigrants, you can stay here. You go and you register, you pay taxes, you can stay, you get no benefits.
what?
You can stay, but you have to pay taxes and you get no benefits. So you can work your job, like we're not going to deport you, but you're not going to get fucking Medicare, you're not going to get any sort of government assistance. Maybe an exception could be made for fucking like school, like public schools or whatever. But you get no sort of government benefits, like extra shit, but you pay taxes and you can stay here, and that's the deal.
Yeah, but why wouldn't you just legalize them at that point? Like, what's the point of letting them stay?
Because the reality is that a lot of these people, a lot of these, what happens, well, I mean, they're not really refugees, but I mean, essentially they fucking are. They become a strain on the welfare system. Like, if you look what's happening in Germany and shit, when you just open up the borders and just let people fucking come in, all of a sudden the welfare system gets strained. So, hey, you can come, but they're going to be a positive on our tax income. Hopefully. Because me personally, I don't have a problem with people coming, showing up and working and paying taxes and contributing to the GDP. Like, you do that shit, 2 thumbs up from me, bro.
I mean, I guess there's probably more reasons that exists other than
That doesn't exist?
no,
I mean,
that birthright citizenship exists, and I didn't read it prior to the podcast, so I don't.
Well, I'm sure it's just some
like
old thing that, you know, from the fucking colonial days. But I'm not saying it needs to be, like, absolutely repealed, but if they wanted to, like, fix some of the illegal immigration, like, that would be a place to start.
Yeah, I mean, all of those like draconian measures for fixing things like sound good at. I mean, I think that's the thing that like mires down a lot of like political action is that like it's easy to do what Trump did and is doing, which is where you just kind of say whatever,
rally up the troops kind of shit.
Well, not that. I mean, like just say like, oh, you know, we just need to ban all Muslims. Okay.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's easy
Right?
to say it, right? Yeah.
But like when it comes down to actually figuring out the logistics behind doing that and applying it in a fair way, like it can be pretty not that straightforward.
Well, you just
So,
can't.
like, so I think like that birthright citizenship, there's probably like a lot of consequences that.
Oh, I'm sure there is that I'm not thinking of. Like for the longest time, I thought the Electoral College was kind of retarded. Because when you think about it, right, you're like, wait, the guy that got the most votes doesn't win all the time? That's kind of retarded. But then you actually look at it and you're like, okay, well, if this was actually the case, then the policies would be catered towards people that live in the urban areas. Like, there's always something. Like, there's something I'm sure that, you know, I'm not thinking about, and I'm going to feel like an idiot later. But, I mean, and I'm not saying it should happen, but I'm just saying, like, if they did want to stop some of that shit from happening, that'd be a good thing to maybe consider.
Yeah. I mean, I still don't really know a good reason for the Electoral College anymore, but
well, it's to stop.
It's
It's to bring all the states into play. It's a concept. Well, it's a principle called the tyranny of the. I think it's the tyranny of the majority. I don't know if that's the right way, but it's something along those lines. But basically, certain states just wouldn't be represented, and the politicians would change. No.
Sure,
But like they wouldn't. It would be more beneficial for them to, especially in a country like the U.S., where it's not like if it's a small country where like the landscape and all that shit is like, you know, everyone lives basically the same way. It's not as big of a deal. But like in the U.S., for example, if there wasn't an electoral college, then the politicians would be shaping their policy around getting as many votes as they could from the urban areas.
I mean, they would only because the urban people outnumber other people.
Exactly. It's the tyranny of the majority.
But, I mean, you say tyranny, but, I mean, wouldn't there be an argument for saying that if there are 9 poor people for every 1 rich person, then the majority of our U.S. policy should revolve around making the lives of the 9 poor people better? I mean, in a vacuum, right?
I'm just saying. What I'm saying
isn't that the idea?
Well, I mean, there's pros and cons to both, right? So, but I think the Electoral College is a good thing because it's a good compromise between all of the states being represented and the popular vote. Because generally, the person that wins the popular vote, or the person that wins the Electoral College, wins the popular vote, or it's very, 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 very close. Like Hillary Clinton getting 0.2% more votes, but losing like whatever, 4,000 out of the 5,000 counties. Like, I think Donald Trump won. Like, yeah, Hillary Clinton might have gotten more votes, but like the country as a whole, like if you just look at the territories, like wanted Trump, and Hillary Clinton just won these little pockets. I
mean, I don't necessarily think that having all the states. When you say they're not represented, they are.
No, they wouldn't be as well represented.
They would be. I mean, they would be represented as proportional to their population, right? Like so say you got a small state like Rhode Island, right? And in Rhode Island, nobody votes for Trump. 0 people votes for Trump, right? Like you're still gonna. I mean. That doesn't really matter if everybody else in the entire country votes for Trump, because I mean he's still going to make, you know what I mean? Like they really don't matter at that point whether you've got a electoral college or not really. Like they're still not represented, because if Trump doesn't make policies that align to what those people value, then it doesn't matter if you have electoral college or not. Like the people in Rhode Island are going to have a great time. You know what I mean? Like I just don't really see like.
I just think it's a good compromise between representing everybody and not just appealing to the high population areas and the popular vote. Because it's not like Trump came out here and won the fucking Electoral College and got like 20 million less votes. Like he got 0.2% like less votes. It's like the thing was neck and fucking neck. And when I see that he only lost by the small amount that he did, I mean, yeah, it's easy to say like 1 million votes, right? But I mean, in comparison to all the votes counted, it's not that much. But to see that map and to see all the counties and shit that were like the difference, like, I don't know.
Yeah, but also like the majority of the U.S. population lives in those little blue areas. Like,
yes, but those other areas that, where all the fucking food and shit is grown is also pretty goddamn important.
No, not that they're not. I'm just saying that, like, I don't know. I don't really see like maybe there is some surprise one or something, but I just don't. I mean, like, you wouldn't just as a policymaker just make no policies related to food, even if those people didn't vote for you. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
No,
yeah,
but
we'll see.
It's a check and balance. That's what it is. It's there to make sure that you have to appeal to most of the areas in the country. So you can't just appeal to the majority and just say fuck everybody else.
Right. You still kind of can though. I mean, like.
You kind of can, but this is what I was talking about. It's a compromise. That yeah, you kind of can, and you definitely can manipulate the Electoral College, which the candidates try and do, right?
Trump appealed to the white majority, and like not that many women and or minorities voted for him. You know what I mean? Proportionally. So, I mean, he outwhited Hillary for sure, and definitely outduded So, last I saw anyway. So, I don't know. I will see what they do with it.
Apparently more college-educated women voted for Trump than they did for Hillary.
Maybe. I think that shit's stupid, too. Like, the fucking breakdown between, like, college-educated people voted for X and versus people that don't have a degree. It's like, okay, what does that have to do with anything? Like, I get what it does, but it seems a little unnecessary.
It's relevant, but, I mean, then again, I don't have a college degree, and I'm a dumbass, so Trump 2016, right? That's how that works.
And what purpose does that serve, though? Like,
it's just fucking categorizing people. It's like, why would you categorize white women? Why would you categorize women? Why would you categorize men? It's just an extra fucking statistic.
I mean, the only purpose it serves is to help do what you don't want to do, and that's them target votes, right? Because, right, like, I don't know. It's just, I think it's an unnecessary categorization. Like, why would you I think the whole thing between, like, oh, I need the X percent of the African male vote, or, you know, we're not getting enough of the Hispanic females and shit like that is just kind of like, I don't know.
What are you clicking furiously?
Oh, can you hear that? That's my mouse. Yeah. That's my Naga. Nothing. I won't click it like that. I didn't even think you could hear that. It's not even a mechanical one. It's not like one of those keyboards. It's really loud.
Yeah. Shit, I don't even know what the fuck I was going to talk about. But, yeah, that's a thing. I thought I saw some crazy fucking thing where it's like white people aren't the majority anymore or some shit. Like some crazy stat that just came out. Where, like, apparently we've mochaed hard enough to where, like... God, I can't remember where the fuck... I don't know if that was the right thing.
I mean... I think in a fair number of decades anyway, we're all just going to be the same color, so... or
whites are no longer going to be the majority in 2043.
Which makes sense. There's so many, like, interracial...
Oh, yeah, I think it was some fucking Michael Moore thing where he said, like, white people are dying. Like, the white race is dying. Which I thought was pretty funny, because it is. Because everybody's just becoming this tan, you know, beautiful fucking tan person all the time.
Right.
Which I wish I was, dude. God damn, I wish I had a little fucking black in me. So I'm pale as shit right now.
So you finally have a big dick?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, dude. Like, that's what, I mean, that's why that whole, like, affirmative action and all these, like, race categorizations, I mean, I hope they're limited, because their time is limited, because they just don't, I don't think they serve very good purposes. Like, they still do.
They're just incredibly racist. Affirmative action is so fucking racist. If you think about it. Like, oh, we need to help out the poor black people because they can't do it on their own merit. Like, that's so racist.
Yeah, I don't think it's necessarily that. I think the argument is, like...
It's what it is?
Yeah, but I don't think you would actually... I think it's more like...
People don't like to word it like that, but that's what it is.
I don't think it's they can't help themselves out. I think it's more like... to try to normalize the disparities in, like, communities and educational standards and other things, right? Like, you know.
It sounds like a PC way of saying what I just said.
No, but I don't know, like, how would you, like, without...
The free market will correct itself. There's plenty of fucking black people that are successful without shit like affirmative action.
I agree. I mean, I don't necessarily think...
There's plenty of black people that don't like affirmative action, and they think it's fucking insulting.
No, I agree. I just... I think that... I do think there are problems in lower income communities that are harder to solve, right? Like, if you have teachers that are dumbasses, right, and you're in a crime infested area, right, like, it's kind of hard to, like, just hire better teachers for that and just artificially increase the standards. So while there probably is a better solution somewhere, like it's not, again, it's not an easy problem to solve. I'm not a big fan of affirmative action anyway, with college admission standards and shit, just to make a quota. But there are ways, you know, we can make it better. But yeah, I think in general, like artificially just telling somebody that they're accepted into a university because they're a minority and like good for them for applying, I don't think is a great solution. Which happens.
Happens all the time.
Right.
If my brother was fucking black, dude, he would have gotten so many goddamn scholarships. Holy shit.
Right.
He would have gotten fucking an insane amount of money. I mean, he still got an insane amount of money because he was smart as fuck and had like a 4 billion GPA. Like, holy fuck. Like, he literally had straight A's in like the hardest classes. Unfortunately, I was very fucking mediocre with my like 3.5. Which is not bad, but it's not exceptional by any means.
Right. Yeah, I mean, like, if I don't get into grad school because, like, they have to fill minority quotas, that's going to kind of be dumb. I don't think that'll happen, but it would be a little irritating. But I don't know, dude. Like, I think if you're not a part of those communities, it's kind of hard to understand. And because I mean, I'm not a part of them, right? It's kind of hard to understand, like, the challenges that those places face. You know what I mean? Because if you have shitty teachers, like, you're not gonna do well in school, no matter like what the fucking deal is, like how smart you are. You know what I mean? If you have a retarded teacher that grades your shit dumb, marks shit wrong, that's not wrong, you know, and is and you know the other thing is like grading for tests and shit like that. Like, I don't know. Like, it's that whole Common Core thing, right? Like, that's a big debate too. But in general, I mean, Common Core is pretty fucking good. So
that's the teaching to the test kind of shit.
No, Common Core is like kind of. It's more standardized curriculum.
Yeah, everyone's on a standard for everything.
Curriculum, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's pros and cons. I mean, I ultimately don't think it really matters either way. What happens? I think a lot of the education problem isn't actually an education problem. I think it's a parenting issue.
Could be, yeah. Which is, you know, another reason that, like, you know, communities where like you've got all that shit going on and need some sort of something, you know. I don't know.
I don't know. There's a lot of cultural issues.
I mean, I had a much better time. So I lived in Central Florida, which is like white, well, relatively white, horse country. And I had pretty good teachers throughout my time in school. And I moved when I was a kid to South Florida to be with my mom. And I went to school in like Fort Lauderdale, which is like, you know, fucking the city, basically. And like, I wouldn't have done good there, dude. Like, I got mugged in like the first like fucking week I was at school, and like they stopped like teaching all the time because people were being assholes, and like there was just, I mean, dude, it was just like a different, you know what I mean? So like, I'm glad that I went to school where I did, because it was easier for me to actually like learn things and not have all the other like bullshit occurring. You know what I mean? Like, if you're worried that you're gonna get fucking like mugged when you come home from class and shit,
yeah,
you obviously aren't gonna do as good, right? And if the class is like way more retarded kids, that the teacher has to spend time with the retarded kids and doesn't have time to like expand on things. I don't know. I think there's a pretty big difference in communities like that.
I mean, there's obviously differences. Like, you'd be dumb to think that there's not differences between like an inner city Richmond school and like Radford High School. But at the same time, I think the playing the victim card is so overdone that it's crazy, because all you need to do is look at Asians. Asians have been persecuted more recently than any other group, I think, in this country. We put them in fucking camps, and they have the highest education of anyone in this country by far. Like, their college degree rates are bananas. They fucking blow everyone out of. They're like the superior white people, basically, in like every way, seemingly.
A lot of those,
We fucking lock them up in camps.
a lot of those Asians though that get those degrees like that, like at a university, aren't even Americans. Like a lot of them
I'm
are.
talking Asian Americans. Not counting the fucking rich Chinese people that come over for 4 years and they peace.
Well, there's a lot of them. Indians, Koreans. I mean, there's a lot more than just Chinese, but
But,
yeah,
those
I mean,
people are persecuted probably worse than black people are.
yeah, but I don't know. I mean, when's the last time you were in the Asian ghetto? Like,
That's a cultural issue. There are Asian ghettos, but that goes back to what I was saying previously.
there are.
There isn't an epidemic of Asian men leaving their baby mamas. That's all I'm saying.
Right. I mean, yeah, but at the same time, there's, I mean, there are a lot of super successful black people that transcend their circumstances.
Exactly. That's what I was saying previously. The free market will correct itself. I don't think it's an issue of victimization. I think it's a cultural issue.
I don't think it's victimization either, but I do think that. I think
the majority of it is cultural.
I think it's harder to transcend your circumstances when you start at a lower baseline. And I think a lot of like those.
Well, yeah, objectively yes, but I mean, how much lower is? At the same time, you also need to think of the advantages too. Like there's a lot of it, with the whole affirmative action and all that shit. There's plenty of advantages that you have as a minority, particularly, I don't know, black. That, if you're the type that really wants to succeed, people are really fucking rooting for you. Like if you're a white guy that wants to succeed, it's like, oh yeah, you're another white guy that wants to do, well. Like, grats, join the fucking club. Maybe that sounds really racist, but like that's what it's like.
I guess. I mean, I don't know. I would contend that you probably don't know what it's like altogether until you're actually in those communities. So it's kind of hard.
That doesn't mean that I can't say it's probably a cultural issue more than anything else.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that
there are other cultures that come over that have it way shittier, that do way better.
What do you mean that come over?
Not everyone that. Like, there are other minorities that do way better than white people, that have way more disadvantages than white people, which goes to show you that it's a cultural thing, not a fucking, oh, we got it so fucking rough out here, dog, we can't succeed.
I don't think it's that, man.
Meanwhile, the people that we locked up in fucking camps are running the world.
Yeah, right. I mean, I get your point, but I don't necessarily think it's that, man. I think that, the areas that and the expectation, like for a lot of them, or a lot of like those communities, probably their idea, their dreams, their whatever that they're exposed to is draft day. You know what I'm saying? Where that's how they make it, because that's who all their friends idolize. That's who they're around. That's what they practice. They practice sports all the time and shit like that. Yeah. And it's just a bigger part of their community.
Oh, I agree. Whereas, I'm 100% agreeing with you.
Whereas, Asians and Indians and all that other kind of stuff, they're not predisposed to that. That's not, who are they going to look at? Fucking Yao Ming. You know what I mean? So
they play sports everywhere, but that goes back to what I was saying, that it's a fucking parenting cultural issue more than anything else.
Right.
Yeah. Because you think of stereotypical Asian parents, like, you doctor yet? Like, you just don't, it's, it's a fucking meme, but it's true, like, these other cultures have this fucking insanely high standard that just doesn't exist for some other cultures.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think...
Obviously, I'm not trying to define everyone that's in, like, I'm not saying that every fucking black person is like this, clearly, but, like, let's be real. Like, look at the fucking writing on the wall.
Yeah, I think it's just very dangerous to generalize.
Well, I'm not. Like that. Well, anytime you make any sort of generalization, people get all butthurt. But I mean, it's a generalization. It doesn't mean it applies to fucking every single person. Like, this is the real world where you have to make some generalities. You can't be like, well, it's just not realistic.
I mean,
that's one thing that
again,
annoys me when you say like a statement like that. And people are like, well, obviously, he thinks everyone is like that.
I didn't say
not
that.
True.
I just
I'm not talking about you. I'm just saying when people say that shit, it just annoys me.
I think that it's a couple things. I think that it's situation, in a circumstance and advantages, but I also think that there's a large personal accountability portion that too often gets lost in that.
Oh, I agree.
Right, but I don't think that it. I don't think that it's. I think it's hard to define what that actual split is, and I think that a lot of times
it's definitely both. Like, I'm not saying everything's completely fair, but I'm saying that I think the majority of it does come down to personal responsibility at the end of the day.
Right. I think that what I think is that people on both sides of that spectrum, the disadvantaged side and the personal accountability side, which are like the fucking Mitt Romneys of the world, I think that too often they look at their side and weight it higher, and there's not a good middle ground that needs to be struck. Like, yes, we do need programs that equalize the playing field in these sort of communities because that needs to happen. But at the same time, they don't need to fully carry you to quote unquote success. And I think that gets lost a lot in the argument where one side like wants all the entitlement and, we're quote unquote, we're black, so we deserve X, Y, and Z free ride. And then the other side goes, you don't deserve shit because you're a human and you have the same abilities and responsibilities and the same capacity for, whatever. So you don't get anything. I think there's probably a middle ground to find in between those two arguments somewhere. That's all I'm saying.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the yeah. It's like the let the states decide kind of answer there. Like, yes, things could be improved. Yay!
Right. I mean, again, it's hard to. It's like the whole gun thing. It's like all these fucking political things. It's like hard to do anything without pissing somebody off or somebody else thinking it's unfair or whatever. So you end up just doing really nothing but whatever we've done forever. It's like the whole gun thing, dude. Like, you can't touch guns. You can't touch gun safe. You can't touch any of that shit because somebody somewhere is going to get angry if they think that you're eating away at their fucking freedom and you arrive back at square one.
I think Trump will probably actually not take people's guns away, though. That's good.
Right. I don't think anybody's ever going to take everybody's guns away.
Hillary Clinton was thinking about doing some fucking crazy shit with, like, having gun manufacturers be liable for fucking shootings. That's fucking retarded.
Yeah, well, I mean, even Bernie Sanders told her that was retarded. Like, in the debate. Which, I mean, that's a pretty fringe stance. I can't imagine that there are a lot of people that want to see that happen.
It's just absurd. It's absurd that was even proposed. Like, you don't fucking sue Ford because you got into a wreck and wrecked your goddamn Ford into a tree. Like, it's retarded. Only claim you could have is if the car itself did it by autonomously.
No. Like, if Ford's seatbelt design was of such that it decapitated you on occasion, and you got in a crash and you got decapitated, and you could prove that was a design flaw or whatever, you probably would have some sort of argument. But not that, like,
not that you just got into a car wreck.
They put cruise control in the car and you turn it on and you fucking go to sleep.
Yeah, it'd be like you buy a brand new Ford Mustang and you take it out to the track and run that shit into the wall, Dale Earnhardt style, turn 3, and then you sue Ford because the car did it.
Right. And her argument was that like, they should put in that the safeties that are on guns currently aren't sufficient to prevent things like a kid shooting the parent or themselves or some shit like that. But I mean, I think the obvious thing is that, like, she probably has never actually held a gun, because if you make the safety so fucking ridiculous that you can't even fire
it's
the
not
shit,
effective.
right? So that was really dumb. That was probably one of the dumbest things of all her election shit that I heard, was that, because that was really retarded. Even Bernie Sanders said it was retarded.
Yeah, I think Trump is definitely the king of retarded like proposals, but I'd still vote for him over all the fucking other people though, if I did vote.
Right.
I'm so glad she lost.
I didn't vote for Trump.
Fucking traitor.
I don't know. You say that, but we'll see.
Voted for Clinton. I would rather you voted for like anybody else. Like I would have not been. I would have been okay if you didn't vote for Trump, but you voted for fucking Clinton. Oh.
What's the other options? There was no better options.
Harambe.
Well, 11,000 people agree with you.
Anybody but her.
11,000 other people agree with you. or you stay home, right? Because that was the other option.
Yeah, you don't waste
But
the gas.
I'm not gonna vote for fucking. I'm not gonna vote for fucking Gary Johnson or Jill. My cell phone's giving me radiation cancer of the brain Stein. So yeah.
That's why you fucking write in Harambe.
That's dumb though. If I'm gonna write in Harambe, I'm just gonna fucking stay home and not even waste my time.
That's what I did.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see. Actually, what happens? Like I'm again. It was not Trump that worried me. It was all Clinton's fucking. I mean, all Trump's like things that come with him, like Pence and all these Republican Supreme Court justices.
Yeah,
and,
Mike Pence does look like the kind of guy that would like disband the Avengers.
Right. So I mean, that's why I didn't vote for him. It wasn't Trump. It was, I don't want the fucking GOP everywhere. So, but it is what it is. It's over. I lost. I got a fucking picture on Reddit. So, is what it is. We'll see what he actually does.
So I actually kind of lost too with that picture of you on Reddit, because now when I go to the Roast Me subreddit, it has me. They think that I am you.
Right.
Like when you click on that, it says that I'm the verified roasty.
Oh, good. That's what you get.
Pretty sure I can remove that. I can just remove that tag, but you have some consolation prize.
I mean, after a while, you can just delete it if you want. After like 2 weeks,
No,
and
I'll
people have
leave
seen
it up. I'm gonna leave that up forever.
Okay, good. You should do that. Yeah, I mean, that's fine. I figured it'd be better if you posted it anyway, because you got a bigger like online fucking following or whatever. And plus, that way you could tagline in it whatever, however way you wanted.
Yeah, I feel like I had a good title.
Yeah.
And your eyes were all watery, so that helped.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I told you. I'd give you something that was actually... I'm not going to take like a good fucking picture for the thing. Like, I'm going to let my fucking hair be 3 weeks grown out and shit. It's fine. I'm not worried about it. They were pretty funny.
I'm just so disappointed that like the best ones didn't get any love. Like the fucking Humpty Dumpty one only got 13 upvotes. Like that one was so good.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Life's not fair.
Boogie did one, which I didn't realize that he did. I didn't read it, but I bet it was probably pretty good.
Yeah. Oh, I've got a question that I got off Ask Reddit that I thought would maybe lead to some interesting conversation. Okay, so at the snap of your fingers, the entire world shits their pants. You can only do this one time. When do you do it? You snap your finger. You have this one superpower. One time, you snap your fingers. Everybody shits their pants.
In the whole world.
Everyone in the world simultaneously shits their pants, and you've got one charge of this thing.
I don't know. You'd have to do it like when there was some event that occurred worldwide, or you would want to anyway. So I don't know. Maybe New Year's Eve.
Oh my god, that's a really good one. That's a really fucking good one.
Yeah.
Dude, could you imagine that shit? You're watching the ball drop, and as soon as it hits zero, you just snap your fingers, and Because that's such a televised event. Like,
Right.
and then they're always filming people's faces when they react. Oh
Right.
my god, that's fucking
And
great.
some people are making out.
Oh, that's fucking amazing. That's the. I was thinking of a few, and I think you just automatically shit on all mine. That's a really good one.
What would be yours?
I can't remember it now because that just was the best. That was way better than what I had. Yeah, that's good. Shit.
I don't think there's like any other circumstance when like the world is doing things together. I mean,
That's a countdown too, right? That's like this moment of suspense, and then you just snap your fingers and everyone shits their pants.
it would have been better. It would have been
That's
like
good,
the best
dude.
on like Y2K, when like
Oh yeah, that'd be amazing.
because like people are already freaked out about like what's gonna happen when like you know what I mean, like the
But
computers.
New
and shit.
Year's in particular is brilliant because imagine all those people in New York. They're like all fucking huddled together, waiting for that ball to drop, and just everyone shits their pants. Oh, that would be fucking putrid.
It'd be pretty good.
That's a good one.
Yep.
All right. I'm gonna look at the we haven't done anything with the comments in a while. Curious to see what people have said. This will probably be a short show because I'm kind of tired. Community. I tried to get a guest this week, but I couldn't get him. I was gonna try to get that Alex Central guy, but he didn't respond to me with the whole private server thing. Oh yeah, wasn't there some WoW drama? I was gonna ask you about that shit, about the legendaries or something.
No, I think it was those all those top guilds getting banned from Mythic Halls of Valor, Trial of Valor was
That wasn't the artifact power thing, was it?
no, that was a different thing. The artifact power thing was like a world quest exploit. This thing was they there's like a thing where if you let your tank die in phase 3, she doesn't cast breath anymore. So like it was known, I guess people found out about it, and then like some guilds started to do it, and then all the guilds did it. So they just like it's kind of a bug that they just used to kill the last boss, which I think is kind of stupid because I mean like I think there's a difference between a like a terrain exploit and something like that. Like if your tank dies and the boss just stops casting an ability or something, like that's a lot less exploited.
Yeah, it's a lot less exploity than doing some shit where you like drag mobs and they phase out and shit.
Right.
No, the thing I was talking about was the legendaries. Apparently there was something where like if you had 3 legendaries, it was like impossible to get another one or something. And, like they mathed it out, and then the Blizzard actually came out and said that they have some sort of bad luck protection system, despite them saying they didn't have that.
No, it was a soft cap. If you had 4, the bad luck protection that exists for legendaries, so like if you do a legendary generating event, like you do emissary, or you do a heroic dungeon, or you do a mythic plus or whatever, a cache, that's a legendary event, and after a while that adds like a couple to your counter, and after a while you get a legendary. Where after 4 they took away the bad luck protection, so it was literally just RNG, like you got it if you got it. So people were basically saying that after 4 you just didn't get any more, which wasn't true. It was just a much less chance to get one.
Yeah, people. I remember looking at the subreddit and people were really pissed about that, like really fucking insanely angry about something about that. I just figured I'd ask.
Yeah,
but apparently people were like saying like that there was like a big conspiracy of people like deleting their legendaries to try and get the ones they wanted, because I guess some of them are shitty. So people would get like their 4th one and be like, "Fuck, it was not the one I wanted," and they would delete it because they couldn't. It was more effective to do it like that than to try. and get it.
Which Blizzard said wasn't true.
And
so
then it turned out to be true.
No, it wasn't true. It's still not true.
Oh, people were saying they were mad because they said Blizzard lied about it. Something.
No.
I don't know the details, but essentially people were mad because Blizzard said that it wasn't like that, and it was like that the whole time.
No, Blizzard said there wasn't a cap on 4 legendaries, and there's not. It's just that the bad luck protection didn't apply after 4 legendaries, so it was basically a cap. It's not that they lied, it's just that the system
They just didn't really tell the truth.
No, I mean, again, it's in perspective. Like, what they said is accurate. They didn't go into the details of the four legendary soft cap to the bad luck protection, but technically,
It just seems that's a very sneaky thing to do.
I guess
we don't cap you, but we're just not going to tell you that there's just no fucking way it's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, it was essentially the same chance as if on the day of launch you getting a legendary every day. That'd be like the same chance, because it's truly random at that point. But I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of the opinion that, okay, the people with 4 legendaries now can get more. Like, fucking grats. Like, I don't give a fuck about you. Like, the more I hear about this legendary system, the less I like it. Because, like, what about
I don't think anybody likes it.
What about the people that have 1, right? And, you know, they're trying, like, my druid, who I've done a lot of content on in this game. Granted, I don't farm 3 chest fucking key runs every single day on my druid, but I should have 2, at least, by now. I don't. I have 1, and I've 1 on pretty much all my characters. Whereas some people in the guild have, you know, 3, 4, whatever, and these mythic people are like, oh my god, I don't have, like, I can't get more than 4. It's like, your problem is not the biggest problem with this fucking system. It's a lot more
They
than
somehow
just that.
managed to design a system that everyone hates. That's pretty unbelievable.
I do like the fact that you can get that there is a potential for an amazing reward all the time. Like, that's cool.
Yeah, that's the only redeeming part of the system, is that you can help your buddy out doing some sort of dungeon that there's no benefit for you to do, but there's a chance that you get, you know, something awesome for doing it.
Well, and AP pays.
Yeah, that too.
So, in that way, it's good. It's just, you know, I hope they don't repeat this this deal in whatever the next iteration.
I wonder if artifact power and that shit'll stay. Or
Yeah,
it'll go the way of garrisons.
No, they'll keep that. This system is probably one of the most liked systems.
I think the artifact power people like for the most part, but I don't know about the legendary shit.
No, and I hope that does kind of go. I mean, or take the bonuses away. I mean the bonuses are cool, but again, they're not balanced in any way, shape, or form. Like, my monk has one that increases the run speed of the party by 15%.
That's a lot. 15%? That's fucking retarded.
Yeah,
That's better than the enchants used to be back in the day.
Well, windwalking bonus for a windwalker is 10% to your entire raid, and the legendary bumps it up to 25.
Does it stack with it additively, or does it bump your 10% up to 25%?
No, it additively.
Okay.
It's then 25%. So it's good for a raid, right? But that doesn't do shit for my personal damage. Whereas, like, my demon hunter has a legendary that gives me, like, a retarded amount of fury generation. So, like, pretty much every time I swing, I either have half to full fury every time. Like, it's
there's
it's
things
crazy.
that, like, affect the rotation. That's a little fucking stepping far there.
So who knows? Who knows what they'll do? But yeah, I mean, those guilds got banned for that boss exploit, and then there was an AP exploit that people got banned for also, and then
They ever reset those people? They said they were going to after people made a fucking giant mess about it.
yeah, well, it was like 3 million artifact power that they got. It was a lot.
Well, they didn't reset the people, and then people made such a big deal about it that they said they were going to reset people, but I wonder if they actually did.
I don't know. Hopefully they did, because
somebody thinks we should get the Lazy Peon on this show. He'd probably be a good guest.
You see
I've
these
watched some of his
videos?
videos. Yeah, not enough to, like, really know him, but I know he's like an MMO guy that plays a lot of various MMOs.
Yeah, he's pretty funny. I would like. It'd be cool.
Yeah, it'd be cool. It's hard to get people that aren't in the U.S. though, because the time schedule is crazy. Like it's like fucking 3 a.m. over there, probably, wherever the fuck he's from. It's kind of how it always is.
Right.
I'm just looking through the comments. Most of these are kind of just statements, not really like questions. Dopamine is pussy wept if his wife doesn't let him do the podcast anymore. Whatever that means. Should watch The Office. Oh, you did say something that was kind of funny. You said something happened. Is that a thing? I asked, is that a thing that happened like 10 years ago? And you said, no, it happened in 2006. And I defended you because I don't even think 2006. Isn't that weird? 2006 does not feel like 10 years ago, does it?
No, not really. I mean, I guess.
I mean, it is 10 years ago, but like, I don't even know what the fuck we were talking about. But like, you said like, I think I said something along the lines of, was that like 10 years ago? And you said, no, it was back in like 2006, where the fuck we were talking about.
Right.
And it doesn't seem like it's been that fucking long, but it has. Jesus.
Yeah. I probably just said no, like, just not, I don't mean no, I just said that. You know what I mean? It just is a phrase
Brain
that
fart.
you say. No, not even a brain fart, just like a thing that you say. So, yeah, maybe I did say that, but I don't think I'm...
Yeah, the only thing that sucks about more people watching on like iTunes and SoundCloud and shit and Google Play is that we don't have as many comments as we used to. Like the podcast is still getting like 3,500-ish views an episode if you average all the shit together. It's just that more people have shifted from YouTube to like iTunes and shit. So there's less comments. We need you guys to leave some motherfucking comments. God damn it. And not just statements. Like preferably questions would be good.
Have you succeeded in getting Dante back?
No, I haven't even sent him a message yet. Yeah, I want to have him on as a guest. I mean, I want to get him on when he's got like something to like promote and like talk about and like something going on. Not that I don't want to sound like insulting, but I don't know. I want to have him on where he's got like some cool shit to like share and talk about, or he's something he's excited about. But he's been a little bit inactive, or at least the last time I looked, he hasn't like uploaded a lot.
Right.
Dude, I've kind of been like pretty prolific on YouTube recently. I've been on like a little bit of a hot streak in terms of like making videos and shit, and not being lazy.
I know you're not part-time anymore.
I definitely still am, but I've just been, I guess, motivated. That and Crowfall, that shit's getting pretty crazy here pretty soon.
Have they updated that yet?
They have like a persistent world now where you can craft and do like survival-esque kind of stuff, but there's not a game loop yet. But it's getting there. The next update potentially could have like objectives and shit. So I would expect the game will be playable. I mean, it's not going to be released probably like full release anytime soon. But I think it'll probably be playable and actually be like in a fun state probably early next year.
Right. I think I asked Coleman what his update was, and I think he said something about like that.
Yeah, the term they use is game loop, which is probably what he used. He said something about game loops.
No, I just asked him because they haven't updated their like release information yet at all since basically since their Kickstarter.
Yeah, they said the game was gonna soft launch in December 2016, which is not gonna happen. It got pushed back. Probably, if I had to guess, the soft launch will probably be at the end of the spring, maybe early summer, is when they officially like soft launch it, and then I don't know when they're gonna do the full launch. But the soft launch is essentially like just the one game mode with all the classes and shit in.
Right. Are they announcing any more, or is what they've already announced going to be it?
No, they've got more to announce. Let me see how many more they have left. They just announced the Templar, which looks pretty cool. Let me see how many more they have left. Look at the class page here. A lot of people have been signing up with my referral link. It's fucking actually insane. Thousands of people have signed up with that thing, which is fucking crazy. Game archetypes. There are currently 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 archetypes left to go. Let me make sure I counted that right. Yeah, there's 5 more classes left to be put in the game.
What are they missing? Like a stealth class?
They have a stealth class. Well, he burrows under the ground. I mean, it's I guess effectively stealth. But they have a stealth class, and there's going to be another stealth class, the assassin, which I think is just going to have traditional like turn invisible stealth. But the duelists, the little hamster fucks, actually go underground.
Really?
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. But it's effectively stealth. And I'm sure the assassin will probably have the stereotypical, like, translucent, slow walking shit.
Is that like... I mean, I get that it's a hamster, so it should go underground. I don't really feel like a duelist should go underground. Like, that doesn't seem like an ability that it should have.
Oh, I mean, he's a hamster duelist.
Right. Right. My point is that I get it that he's a hamster, but it's like, I don't know, is this overarching like thing because being a hamster or being a... I mean, that'd be like a...
He has some cool fucking abilities coming out of stealth. He's got this one ability where he comes out of the little, like, guinea pig hole with 2 guns and just starts, like, firing. Like some fucking, you know, cartoon cowboy.
Yeah, I wanted to try him. He looks pretty cool.
I mean, he lives up to the name. He's probably one of the best 1v1 classes in the game.
I think my favorite class, like fantasy type deal of all so far in any MMO has been Spellslinger.
Spellslinger's cool. Yeah.
Just like gun mage.
Magic guns, yeah.
Was probably... I don't think I can think of a cooler one than that.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. There were definitely some cool ones in older MMOs, but, you know, the more modern MMOs in the past, like, 15 years have kind of just been pretty bland, like Warrior, Mage, Warlock.
Like Templar. Oh my god. Like, how many... every fucking game has
like, a Paladin style.
Holy Knight Templar, dude. Like, that's not... You know what I mean? Like...
I think that the Templar is actually going to be, like, fire. Like, that's one thing I've always wanted to see. Like, a fire... Like, a warrior mage. Like, a mage that has, like, a... Like, imagine a mage with, like, a... instead of, like, a sword, he has, like, an ice sword. Like, it's, like, made of the magic that he, like, conjures with his hand or something. Like, imagine that. Like, he's got, like... Instead of throwing fireballs, he just makes, like, a fire sword from his hand. And then he's got, like, an ice shield. And all of his, like, physical attacks are, like, magic-oriented and shit. I think that'd be cool to see, like, a warrior mage kind of class like that. But apparently the Templar, instead of it being holy shit, I mean, I think there's, like, a religious backtone to it. But it's, like, a fire thing. Like the Confessor. It's, like, like... I don't know, trial by fire kind of thing.
That's pretty cool.
They definitely did some different shit with this game. Like, there's Legionnaires, like, or there's fucking Minotaurs and Centaurs and all kinds of crazy races, which I think is cool.
Yeah. I don't know, I mean, about the hamster thing, I think it's kind of like... There's not a lot of, like, they have their racials in, like, WoW, but I guess it would be like the Minotaur, like, I don't know, stabbing someone with his horn and, like, throwing them around, or, like, you don't see a lot of that, though. Like, abilities that are based on your race and not your...
Oh, that's why it's cool.
Class.
Well,
yeah,
that's why
like,
there's no, that's why there's not race selection. That's why the archetypes are race locked.
Right. But it'd be like what would like the white guy's thing be? Like, negotiate?
Upper middle class.
Fucking like, do your taxes.
He's privileged.
That's the
his racial is privilege.
Right. Racial privilege. Right. That means he gets to go first. And everything.
He gets to sit in the front of the bus.
Wow. That'd be kind of... Well, no.
Well, there's no racials in Crowfall. But all the races have different attributes to them because there's a lot of humanoid classes. but like the archetypes have shit baked into them, right? So the Legionnaire, the horse guy, apparently like one of the things they've got is they've got 2 stomachs. So like there's a hunger mechanic in the game. So they essentially have a bigger gas tank than everybody else, but they also require more food. And the Stalker, which is a class that isn't out yet, will apparently be able to like eat, like he's the deer ranger guy. He'll be able to like eat people's like hearts and shit as like a form of energy. And then you've got the Duelist, who like obviously goes underground, and you know, they're able to build these quirky things to these classes that are race, you know, based on the race, because they're not because the race is a race lock. Like for example, the Myrmidon, where he fucking charges in with his horns. Like that wouldn't make sense if a human could be a Myrmidon. So like they have a lot more creativity with the shit race lock that a lot of people aren't thinking about.
Have to charge in with your penis.
Yeah, it would just look dumb as hell if like another race could be a Myrmidon. Like it would just fuck up all the animations.
If a knight charged in with his penis, that would actually be pretty funny. You see this dude like, he's like running with his hands down at his side and his fucking like boners out, and he's like charging in like with it like thrust
you have to like
forward.
bend your back back.
Right, that would be
That'd
fucking
very
hilarious.
hard logistically to do.
That would be. I wonder how much stretch goal that is for Crowfall to fucking make.
That's another thing I was actually
The boner
they
charge.
did that I think was pretty smart. Dude, they cut off their stretch goals over a year ago. Like they had a bunch of stretch goals, and then they like blew past all of them, and they're like, listen, we gotta like stop, or else the game will never come out. They didn't pull like a Star Citizen where they're like, this game will just continually get bigger and never ever come out. Lol.
Is that game out?
No. That game isn't even close to coming out either. It's such a fucking like, I almost just want to say it's a goddamn scam, because like, what the fuck?
Revival was a scam. Did we talk about Revival? I don't know if we did,
Like,
but
I don't think it's a scam per se, but the game is going to come out and people are going to be disappointed because the developers just have spent so much time focusing on all this like shit that is irrelevant. Like, I get they want to make the game the most perfect thing they possibly can, but that's not how the fucking world works. Like, you have to cut corners at some point, and you have to actually release the goddamn thing at some point, or else you just start spending insane amounts of money reiterating on the same bullshit over and over again, and not actually getting it into the players' hands where the real changes need to be made.
right.
That's one thing that triggers me about people that say when games come out too early, when they very clearly didn't. There are some instances where games came out too early, but in a lot of cases, I don't think it's true.
I mean, like, you could argue that about Wildstar, but I don't think that...
I don't think Wildstar came out too early.
I think that they were going down paths that they believed where they should go down no matter what.
Yep.
So even if it baked longer, it was still going to come out.
I agree 100%. They just... they could have released the game 6 months later, and it wouldn't have changed what happened. Wildstar came out, and it crushed people's egos, and there wasn't enough easy, casual content to like keep people hooked.
that and I think there were other problems with that game. Like,
well, I mean, that was the main issue, though, is that people that, you know, the more casual players that got to 50 that didn't want to run dungeons and didn't PvP were just like, what do I do? It's like,
yeah, well,
this is not the game for you.
Some of that, but I mean, like there were the parts of that game that sucked were the attunement was retarded. So they had that in there. They had like the rune system at launch was and still is, I think, horrible. Like, that is the worst fucking system of all time. Is that, like, when that rune system came out at launch, like, you couldn't even do that without a spreadsheet or an add-on. Like, you could not actually figure out what runes you should put into your shit in order to get these bonuses.
There was a lot of math. I remember that.
So it's like that was one of the. I think that was the worst system. That was probably the worst thing.
The worst part is they redid it like 100 fucking times too, and made everybody redo their gear 100 times. And I think they've redone it like 2 or 3 more times since I stopped fucking playing the game. It's a fucking they can't figure that thing out to save their life.
I mean, even the 40-man rating thing, like, people in beta were like, it's not gonna work. And they're like, it's gonna work. That's what we're gonna do, and we're not gonna do anything else. And they did, and then people weren't.
I don't think the 40-man rating was ultimately
people weren't satisfied with 5-man content being their progression content, no matter if it was hard or not, because it was challenging.
Those were the best dungeons in any MMO of all time.
I wouldn't disagree, but
when they first came out and they were tuned properly for difficulty. I mean, obviously now everybody just power creeps and smashes the fucking things the second they hit 50 because the game's easy. But when they first came out, that shit was fucking amazing.
Yeah, but again, like it was a topic that we debated was whether or not people would accept 5-man content as progression content, and
they didn't.
I don't think they didn't, and I think that they would had to have done a system. Well, maybe not had to have done a system but I think Mythic plus dungeons are a really good example of how to get casuals to accept 5-man content as their in-game.
Well, yeah, but the thing is that the people that are doing the Mythic plus dungeons can raid. They can go into a raid environment, actually kill a raid boss, and feel good about themselves. And they can also actually complete the dungeon outside of Mythic plus 2. The thing with Wildstar is that a lot of these fucking people couldn't even clear the dungeon, much less get attuned for the dungeon, and much less even step foot in a raid. Whereas in WoW, anybody can clear a dungeon, at least for base difficulty, and anybody can clear a raid at base difficulty. Wildstar just smash people into the fucking dirt.
I don't know about first of all, I think there's a lot of issues, right? Like, not all of the dungeons in Wildstar were created equal. Like, Sanctuary and Skullcano were a lot harder than KV and STL. And also, I don't think that's true that anybody in WoW can complete a normal raid. Like, put together one and be on, participate.
Compared to Wildstar, though. I mean, I'm not saying anyone. Like, that's just a generalization.
I would say that.
But
that's
it's not a fucking challenge to clear something on LFR.
No. Nor do they want to make it one, because that's awful. And actually, Trial of Valor, whatever the fucking new raid is. I think it's Trial of Valor. It's Hall of Valor's dungeon. It is actually Trial of Valor, yeah. Is actually too hard on LFR right now. Like, it's AIDS. Like, I went and did it and queued for it on my Warlock, who dinged. And if you don't do the mechanics in Trial of Valor, you're going to die.
What a fucking horror.
So it's awful.
What do we do? If you don't do the mechanics, you die.
It's awful because number one, LFR is not the place to learn how to fucking raid, right? Like, you just don't. LFR is you queue, you spend a little time in there, you see some bosses, you get some story, you get a few pieces of welfare epics, and you get out. That's what it's for. That's what everybody uses it for. It's not actual progression content. So for it to be difficult, right, is just makes it AIDS for everybody. Like, let me give you an example. So you probably don't play WoW much.
We've been down this road before.
No. Let me give you an example. Gorm is the second boss in that fight, and I can give you the mechanics of Gorm right now. So he has a breath. The breath is a big cone. 3 colors to the cone: red, green, and purple. If all 3 colors have to be soaked by 3 different, basically, groups of the raid. And if you stand in red, you have to just stand in red for the rest of the fight. That's it. The where red is randomized, but you just have to stand in the same color that you stood in when you start the fight. That's all the mechanics are to that fight. We wiped so fast on that fight that the fucking determination fail buff that gives you 5% more of shit, like 5% more damage and healing or whatever, that's supposed to be stackable to 10 so you can like move on. That only applies after the first minute of the fight. So we wiped so fast that the fucking fail buff didn't even have time to put on a stack.
You're failing so hard that Blizzard can't even account for it.
Exactly. And it's awful. It's fucking horrible. So
yeah, but like Wildstar had no easy content for people to like get their feet wet with. It was like
Well, it had easy content, and then it had really, really hard content. There was no like a middle ground content, right? Like scenarios. What were they called? Adventures. And
well, there was people that were getting fucked up in adventures.
What were the solo ones called? Not
those don't really count because those didn't really count. Those weren't really in the game. The ship hands.
Ship hands. Yeah.
Yeah, and those weren't really those didn't really offer anything worth a fuck.
NSTL was pretty easy after a while. KV was harder because the last boss.
Well, yeah, but me and you are like better players than most.
Yeah.
Understand,
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying that their problem was that there was not a continuity of content. It was either easy solo stuff that anybody can do or difficult things.
Yeah, like there wasn't anything for people to just be able to like chill out and relax and do a dungeon. Like there was no, hey, I just got home from work. Let's run through a dungeon and, do my daily. Like that wasn't a thing. It was like, hey, I just got home from work. Let's hop in TeamSpeak and nerd it out while we all coordinate interrupts and do this timed run.
Right. And two, I think for a lot of people, like the interrupt system, like that whole game, the difficulty in that game was movement and interrupts. That was it. Like they couldn't really do other challenging things. So like if, like a lot of people didn't like, I mean, I still think the interrupt rotations and the way debuffs are handled because they don't have a normal like healer type UI is kind of is not that great, I don't think. Like that, who's that boss in not Datascape? What was the easy raid? Genetic Archives with the eggs. It's the second boss.
Oh, the mini boss, the pustules.
No. It's not a mini boss. It's an actual boss. She's in the middle. Yeah,
with the eggs where you've got a
right, and there's the debuff, whatever. That is weird because like
that was a good fight.
There's no like UI help like there is in WoW. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
you can't have something doesn't play the game for you. Oh no.
Right. So it's just it's a different kind of experience.
That was a good fight, but yeah, there was no entry level rating at all in that game. Like the people that did get attuned would just get crushed by the raids. It was just a brutal game with no easy mode. And I know that sounds like I'm trying to fucking. It might sound like I'm trying to like shit on people that couldn't do it, and I'm not. I'm just saying like that needs to be a thing. Like they were going for the hardcore mentality, and they even advertised like that. But there was nothing for the non-hardcore people to do, really. And the PvP was legitimately just terrible at launch, and I don't think it really ever got that much better. But I think the game really died because of the lack of casual PvE content.
I think it's funny that I hate PvP in every other game ever, but I actually like it a lot in Wildstar, which is kind of funny. Like that's when I log into Wildstar, that's all I do is the PvP, which you wouldn't think, but I don't know. Something about like combat, I think.
I had fun with it. Like I like the mechanics of it, but there's just so much retarded shit, like those like bugged gadgets and just like win trading that they like just so many stupid things, man. But the core systems were fun.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So who knows?
Crowfall, it's the new hype. I don't think Crowfall will be some fucking massive game that gets millions of people. It's too hardcore for that, but I think it'll be a fun game.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll try it. I don't think it's gonna be my thing, but I'll give it a shot.
I mean, if you're not a PvP guy, it's definitely not gonna be your thing.
Right.
Unless you're like a crafting kind of guy and you want to like run some sort of like crafting empire in this like perfect game.
That's too much work. That sounds like a lot of work.
There are some people that are fucking so pumped for that. How like this game, the Crowfall is gonna have a pretty crazy economy. Like it's gonna be pretty cool.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I would do some crafting, but like I like the WoW style crafting where it's like you don't like have to do it, and you don't have to like you can
requires little to no effort.
Yeah, kinda, but I mean not like picture crafting if you had to farm all your materials all the time and there was never an auction house. Then it would be like way worse. But the fact that you can actually like just go buy materials and craft makes it a little bit better.
I mean, you can do that in Crowfall, but there's no auction house, so you're gonna have to like locally trade with people, and you're gonna have to like, you know, network with other players in this MMORPG to have success.
I think the thing that devs overestimate sometimes, and I don't know if this is going to be the case with Crowfall, but I think in general it's valid, is that a lot of these systems require a lot of care and like want to play, right? And like investment. And I think devs like overestimate how willing people are to invest that much in your game. Like Black Desert is a pretty good game, like honestly, in terms of like combat, and then, you know, it's got its problems, pay to win and all that PvP.
It's got high production values.
But I mean, at the core of it, it's really fun. The problem is that like you have to like just spend all day farming dumb shit in that game to get anywhere. And you know, the same thing with like a lot of games that come out. It's like they have these super deep systems where like, you know, people just don't want to put that much time into the fucking thing. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. You know what I'm trying to say? It's like, if I don't care about your game that much, I don't want to have to spend 15 hours on it to do like one little thing, or to make some crafting empire. Like, I need to.
Well, the thing is that the crafting, like, it can be simple if you want it to be simple, or it can be, like, I think they have a pretty good balance. Like, it can be fucking mega complicated for the people that want it to be mega complicated, but if you want to just make basic armor that's easy to make and is still pretty alright, but it's obviously not going to be as optimized as some guy that, you know, really spent the time and, you know, nerded out on some spreadsheet, then, you know, you can do that. And also the thing with Crowfall is that all the shit, you lose it all. So Crowfall is appealing to a different demographic of people.
Right. Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know, WoW changed their professions in Legion, and they tried to do a little bit more of that, and I don't know. We'll see if they repeat it, you know, like the profession quests and shit like that. Like, you're still, like, somebody who does an enchant is no different from another person who does the same enchant. So in that way, it's still WoW crafting, but they tried to add some depth with these like quests and shit and ranks on materials, but at the same time, it's just like, I think in a lot of cases, all they did was make it more AIDSy. Like, you know what I mean? Because you got to do that for everything, so it's kind of dumb. Like every
the
little
thing with
thing
Crowfall that they're aiming for is they want crafting to be a playstyle. Like, if you want to be the crafter, like, you can't do that in WoW. That's not a thing you can do in WoW. Like, there's not a guy where you log into WoW and it's like, oh yeah, dude, check that out. Recount, he's that kick-ass rogue. Oh, look at fucking this guy. He's that kick-ass, you know, warlock. And look at this guy. He's that kick-ass blacksmith. Like, that's not a thing. Whereas in Crowfall, they want that to be a thing.
Right. Which is fun. So hopefully that works out. I'm sure some people will love it.
Yeah, no, it's definitely going to be a niche thing, I think. But niche as in, I mean, I think it could blow up some, but I don't think it'll be like millions of people. But it doesn't have to be.
Right. Yep.
All right, dude. Well, we've been going for almost 2 hours. You got anything else you want to pitch?
No, not really.
Yeah, I was gonna do more comments, but they're kind of all just statements. You guys need to leave us some questions, man. I don't think I have anything else for this week. I'm a little out of it this week. I've been awake for a long time, so I apologize if this podcast is kind of shitty. But yeah, fuck. I was gonna look at my list to make sure I hit everything. Oh god, this is good podcasting here, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, I think that's all I want to talk about. New Final Fantasy's coming out next week, so that should be kind of interesting. I'm gonna weeb it up on that. Yeah, so hope you guys enjoyed Hive Mind number 54. Be sure to check out my YouTube channel. I've put up some decent videos people have been liking, so check that out. Be sure to check us out on YouTube, SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play, and Twitch. Yeah, we're on Twitch now consistently, so check us out there. And we'll see you guys next week. Have a good one.